You know, in every language, you've got the rules they teach you in the textbooks. But then there's the real language, the one spoken on the streets, humming with secrets and rhythms and codes that are hidden right there in plain sight.
So what if all the parts of a language that seem like mistakes aren't mistakes at all? What if they're actually the keys to unlocking a much deeper understanding? We're about to get into a story that might just change the way you think about learning anything. And hey, before we begin, if you enjoy stories like this, please do follow the channel and share this. It genuinely helps us grow and lets me create more stories just like this for you. All right, so picture this. Our story starts with a traveler. We'll call her Anna. She's just stepped into the beautiful, vibrant chaos of a new city. And she's armed with her Spanish textbook, this neat, tidy map filled with logical rules. She felt totally prepared, confident even. But well, the city, it had a language all its own. Anna's textbook couldn't have been clearer. For I go, you take the verb ir, you drop the ending, you add an O. Simple, right? But literally everywhere she went, from the bustling market to the quiet cafes, she heard a completely different word, voi. The map she was holding just didn't match the territory, and for a second there, she felt completely and utterly lost.
But instead of getting frustrated and, throwing in the towel, something else happened. Anna got curious. She put away her textbook and just opened her ears. She stopped trying to force the rules she knew and started listening for patterns. She realized the city wasn't wrong. It was speaking in a code, and she was gonna crack it.
So she started to tune in, really tune in, to the rhythm of the streets, the music, and all the conversations happening around her. She was on the hunt for a clue, any little thread she could pull on that might just unravel the whole mystery. And then she heard it. It was faint at first, but then it got louder and louder. A specific sound repeating itself over and over again. An echo hiding in a small group of really common words. And this was it, her first big breakthrough. That word that had confused her so much, voi, wasn't some random fluke. She started hearing it everywhere. I give was doy. I am was estoy. They all had that same oi sound. It wasn't a mistake at all. It was like a secret handshake, a little code for the I form in this special club of words. Okay, so cracking that first part of the code, it was exhilarating. It was proof that there was a system here, a hidden logic. So Anna kept listening, totally convinced now that there were more secrets just waiting to be found. And sure enough, she found one, a totally different pattern. It was like another group of these rule breakers that all left the same distinct mark, kind of like an artist's signature at the bottom of a painting. And there it was, another pattern. She heard people saying HAGO for I do, SALGO for I leave, and PONGO for I put. And just like that, another huge piece of the puzzle snapped right into place. These weren't just a bunch of random exceptions. They were a family, all of them marked with the same go signature. So Anna had cracked the codes at the end of the words. But there was one last mystery, and this one was even more confusing, because the secret wasn't at the end of the word, it was hidden right in the very heart of it. Why did some verbs seem to completely change their shape from the inside out? This was the final lock, and you better believe Anna was going to find the key. She zoomed in on one really common verb, querer, which means to want. She started writing down everything she heard. I want was quiero. Okay, you want was quieres. Makes sense. But then we want was suddenly queremos. The E changed to an IE, but then it just changed back. It seemed completely random, like a puzzle with no solution at all. Feeling frustrated, Anna started kind of doodling in her notebook, just drawing a line around all the forms of the verb that had changed. And then she just froze. She saw it, a shape. It looked like a boot. The vowel only changed for the forms that were inside the boot. So yeah, the official textbook term is a stem-changing verb, but Anna had just discovered something way more powerful, the boot rule. It was a visual key, a secret map that suddenly unlocked hundreds of verbs that all followed this exact same hidden shape. And with that final key, everything changed. The chaotic noise of the city, it transformed into a symphony. The errors she thought she was hearing everywhere, they're actually these beautiful, elegant patterns. That's when Anna realized that the language wasn't breaking its own rules at all. The rules she had learned from her textbook were just incomplete. The real rules were just secret, waiting for someone to listen closely enough to finally hear them. In this discovery, it went so far beyond grammar charts. By understanding the hidden logic, this secret rhythm of the language, she could speak more freely, more naturally. She wasn't just, translating words in her head anymore. She was finally having real conversations, making real connections.
It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? What other secret codes are out there, hidden in plain sight, just waiting for us to stop looking for the rules we expect to find and start listening for the patterns that are actually there? If this story moved you or made you think a little differently, share it with someone who needs to hear it. And make sure to follow the channel for more stories like this.